It is 9:11 right now, and we're going to feed the cats. Just got done sweating my ass off riding my bike. Took the dog out. Got up at about 5:30. Ay, ay, ay. Here we go. All right, got water. All that stuff. Gotta go vacuum the truck out, give the dog a bath. You know, one thing I'll tell anybody, one of the keys to my sobriety is having a routine. I've been doing the fucking same routine for close to 4 or 5 years. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. And it works. You know, you've got to have purpose in your life. You've got to have meaning, and you've got to have truth. You know, you've got to be truthful with yourself first and foremost, you know, and you've got to really just be, I don't know, I just find being transparent and, you know, you're not doing anything that nobody else has done or relatives haven't done or some other, you know what I mean? Like, so for me, it's the way I live my life, and God, you know, delivered me from hell, from opiates and just chronic neck pain. I broke my neck like fucking, I don't even remember now, over 10 years ago. Man, it's been so, I keep saying 10 years ago, but it's way over that now. But I lived with a broken neck for 10 years. And I had, you know, abused pain pills since then, but before that, and man, near the end of that shit, 180 Percocets in 5 days, fucking Oxycontin, oxycodone, Dilaudid, Roxycodone, 30 milligram, fucking fentanyl, morphine. There was nothing that you could give me. It just, nothing worked anymore. You know, I just, after the surgery, nothing worked anymore, and that was my own fault. And so I take my health beyond seriously now, because I remember what it was like to not be able to stand up for more. I remember, like, you know, being a strong ass person, and then barely being able to carry the groceries, you know, up the stairs. And I was somebody that was physically capable of doing more than that, and just everything hurt all the time. So I value my workouts, I value my health. I'm very selective about letting people in my life. I don't let people in my life that are fucking using drugs and, you know, not going anywhere in life. Like some of the people I see people hanging out with, I go, well, you're really surprised that nothing good happened to you hanging out with that crowd? Who would have thought? It's just so fucking, it's just, people are just living in a fucking delusion, obviously. You know, they think there's pictures of fucking Jupiter and that they can land on a fucking comet and take pictures of it. Yeah, that's real. Or a probe got 15 feet from the sun and it didn't melt, right? Absolutely has to be true, because they showed it to you. You know? Fucking companies like McDonald's and Coca-Cola. If the world really gave a fuck about you, which obviously they don't care about human life, and I'm getting into why and all that, but, you know, it all revolves around making you a motherfucking dependent customer on the biggest cartel and terrorist organization that there is. They have a snake and wings for their emblem. If that doesn't tell you anything, you know, they know that you're a sucker with their dumb Giardia commercials with fat people dancing, and, you know, you look at Coca-Cola, they have to be in every, just to remind you, you can have a Coca-Cola, you know, you can have 56 fucking grams of sugar, which just such a fucking abnormal, crazy. I mean, anything with 15 grams of sugar. I was looking at the yogurt yesterday. I was like, I haven't been a while since I've eaten like Chobani or the Greek yogurt. 15 grams of sugar, 4 servings. I'm like, yo, read what's in shit. There was something I was reading, I forget what it was, but it was like, oh, this, not fat-free, but it was something like that. And I was reading the fucking ingredients. They were ingredients that I've never even heard of. The ingredients looked like what you would use to make fucking meth. You know what I mean? Like the ingredients look like the shit you would use to make meth. You know? But the more disillusioned thing is people don't want to use the information you give to them. They don't want to know. You know what I mean? People don't want to know. Oh, I have, you know, and then they lie and say, oh, you know, I just, you know, this. I was listening to a fucking interview with Butterbean, and he was trying to say that he ate healthy and he still was 400 pounds. Bro, let me just tell you, Chub Rock, there's no fucking way. Hi, kitties. There's no way that you ate healthy. Well, and he goes, well, I ate healthier than most people. How? How, bro? You know? I mean, and he made a great transformation and everything, but he's disillusioned, delusional, and in denial about shit. You know, just like I was about coffee creamer. I would just pour a coffee creamer and go, oh, I work out. Dude, just having the amount of coffee creamer that I would pour in, it was like drinking a fucking half a 2 liter of fucking sugar. You know, the same equivalent. But it said 15, you know, oh, and there's only this many, and, you know, free pour it. And yeah, guess what? That shit kept me 260 pounds. Like, don't worry, you're not going to lose weight on it, you know? And I had to fucking, you know, condiments. I never was big on mayonnaise, but even certain salad dressings, I mean, none of them are good for you, but that girl with her cheeks, you know, but you give people information. Listen, I had to do all of this research while I was detoxing or high on getting sober and getting fit and all of that shit, so do what you want with it, man. I'm just telling you, you better, you know, I see a lot of people in this day and age giving up on fucking, on life and stuff, and there's, I mean, you see them at the grocery store fucking buying their fucking 24-pack. How are you, brother? Buying their 24-pack of fucking Miller or fucking whatever, you know, and I'm not saying that you can't have a couple drinks once in a while, but people are using this shit to cope. You know, they're using this shit to cope. Oh, I need this. Let's treat the source of why, like when I was addicted. Why am I using pills? Well, because I lost my brother, and we found him. No, he died. You know, I was using that shit. It's like we don't ever get down to the root cause. Get down to the fucking root cause of what are we doing? Why am I fat? Or why am I on drugs? Or why am I this? Or why am I, you know, what's the root cause of why my marriage is in trouble? You know what I mean? Is it because you're watching porn every fucking 15 minutes and you have no time for your wife, or you're just a fucking schlub and you're playing video games all day?